Brittany Owens had just celebrated a major milestone, landing her dream job as a marketing manager at a prestigious firm. Her life seemed to be falling perfectly into place. She was engaged to a supportive fiancé, had just moved into a new apartment, and had a bright future ahead. Those who knew Brittany described her as radiant, ambitious, and always kind-hearted. Yet her success didn't sit well with everyone. One person particularly unsettled by Brittany's good fortune was her former roommate and once close friend, Melissa Graham. Melissa and Brittany had once been inseparable during college. They lived together for years, but after graduation, their lives diverged. Brittany soared professionally while Melissa struggled with odd jobs and financial instability. Over time, jealousy seeped into their relationship. Melissa often made passive-aggressive remarks about Brittany's perfect life during gatherings. Eventually, Brittany gently distanced herself from the increasingly toxic friendship. Melissa, however, grew more resentful, believing Brittany had abandoned her in favor of a better life. On the evening of September 22nd, Brittany hosted a small celebration at her apartment with close friends. Melissa wasn't invited, which only fueled her anger. At around midnight, Brittany's neighbors heard loud banging and muffled shouting from her apartment. Concerned, one neighbor called security. By the time they arrived, Brittany's door was ajar, and inside, Brittany lay motionless, stabbed multiple times. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital, but she was pronounced dead on arrival. There were no signs of forced entry. Detectives quickly ruled out a random attack due to the lack of forced entry. Whoever killed Brittany was someone she trusted enough to let inside. Security cameras caught footage of a hooded figure entering the building about 30 minutes before Brittany was found. The figure's build and gait matched Melissa's. A further breakthrough came when investigators pulled text messages from Brittany's phone. Just hours before her death, Brittany had received a text from Melissa asking to talk and make things right. Police brought Melissa in for questioning. She claimed she hadn't seen Brittany in weeks, but surveillance footage and phone records showed otherwise. A search of Melissa A.'s car uncovered a knife tucked under the passenger seat. Still stained with blood, later matched to Brittany. DNA evidence sealed Melissa S.'s fate. Her fingerprints were found on Brittany A.'s doorknob and the knife handle. Under the pressure of overwhelming evidence, Melissa confessed. She said she didn't plan to kill Brittany initially, but when Brittany refused to rekindle their friendship and asked her to leave, she snapped. Melissa harbored years of bitterness and jealousy. Seeing Brittany achieve everything she had dreamed of ignited a rage she could no longer control. The rejection that night was the final spark that led her to violence. Melissa was charged with first-degree murder. During her trial, the defense tried to argue that Melissa acted in a moment of temporary insanity, but the premeditation, bringing a knife and waiting for the right moment, convinced the jury otherwise. After just 2 days of deliberations, the jury returned a guilty verdict. Melissa Graham, sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, currently incarcerated at North Carolina Correctional Institution for Women,